The Max Headroom broadcast Intrusion. The ordinary night. It was an ordinary evening in Chicago. Families gathered around their televisions, expecting the usual nightly programs. But this night would be different. Something strange, something unexpected was about to break through the familiar screens. Unusual distortion. The broadcast flickered for a moment, as if the signal itself hesitated. Static appeared, dancing across the screen. Viewers squinted, thinking it was a technical glitch. But what came next was anything but ordinary. The masked figure appears. Suddenly, a figure wearing the Max Headroom mask appeared on the screen. The face, stiff and expressionless, stared into the living rooms of Chicago. Its presence was unnerving, a synthetic smile that seemed almost alive. The distorted voice. A distorted voice echoed through the speakers. Words were unclear, sentences jumbled, and laughter crackled like electricity. The effect was chilling, as though the television itself had become a portal for something unknown. Confusion in the audience. People sat frozen, unsure whether to scream or laugh. Some thought it was a prank. Others felt deep unease. The line between reality and broadcast blurred, creating a tension that would linger long after the signal vanished. The signal breaks again. The screen wavered. Static swallowed the figure, then revealed it again, slightly altered. Each appearance felt deliberate, each movement mocking the viewer. No one understood how this was possible. A night of fear. By the end of the first few minutes, a strange fear had settled across the city. Televisions that once brought comfort now emitted anxiety. Families whispered, unsure whether they were witnessing a prank, a warning, or something darker. The local stations react. Engineers at WGN and WTTW scrambled to regain control. Yet the intruder's broadcast seemed to evade every effort. It was as if the mask itself had its own will, laughing at the helpless technicians. First theories. Speculations spread quickly. Hackers, disgruntled employees, students with technical knowledge. Every possibility was considered. Yet, no evidence emerged. The identity behind the mask remained hidden in shadow. The record becomes legend. As the broadcast repeated in homes and later on VHS tapes, its legend grew. Max Headroom's mask became an icon, a symbol of the unknown, and a reminder that technology could be manipulated in unexpected ways. The city in shock. Chicago awoke to the news. Reporters described the intrusion in vivid detail, replaying every distorted moment. For a moment, the city felt smaller, watched by an invisible figure on every screen. National attention. Soon, national media covered the story. People outside Chicago were intrigued and horrified. The incident had grown beyond a local anomaly. It had become a national mystery. The analysis begins. Technicians and media analysts began to study the recording. Every glitch, every odd gesture was examined. No pattern provided clear answers. The mystery only deepened. Urban speculation. From cafes to offices, people discussed the event. Rumors spread faster than the broadcast itself. Was it a prank? A warning? A new kind of social experiment? No one knew. Into the unknown. By the end of the first hour, it became clear this was more than a technical breach. It was an intrusion into the minds of viewers, a blend of fear, fascination, and confusion. Cut to black, and suddenly, the screen went black. Silence. No sound, no image, only emptiness. For viewers, the moment was more terrifying than a masked figure itself. Silence in households. Homes in Chicago froze. Children hid under blankets. Adults exchanged worried glances. Television, a once trusted window, had just been taken over by something alien. Early speculations. Speculation appeared quickly. Students' prank, hacker groups, even messages from unknown entities. Theories circulated through newspapers, radio, and cafes. Yet, none provided real answers. FCC involvement. The Federal Communications Commission stepped in. They investigated transmitters and systems, but found no trace of illegal equipment. It was as if the perpetrator were a ghost, appearing and vanishing into thin air. Media frenzy. News of the intrusion spread nationwide. Clips circulated from VHS to VHS. The more people watched, the more nonsensical it seemed, like pieces of a nightmare stitched into reality. Psychological impact. Some viewers reported difficulty sleeping, recurring nightmares, and anxiety. The plastic mask, with its unchanging smile, penetrated the subconscious. It was not merely a prank. It was a collective nightmare broadcast into homes. Urban legend begins. Weeks later, the incident became an urban legend. Stories of the plastic face appearing at night, repeating gestures and phrases, spread through the city. Everyone had a version of the tale, but the core mystery remained. Police investigations. Chicago police investigated transmitters, interviewed technicians, and tracked VHS recordings. Every lead ended in a dead end. The intruder remained a shadow, never captured or identified. Clues in the broadcast. Observers studied the tape, noting background patterns, gestures, and repeated phrases. Was there a hidden message? A code? Or just deliberate chaos? Every analysis created more questions than answers. Public fear versus fascination. Despite fear, people could not stop watching. The tape circulated widely, and obsession grew alongside terror. Television had become a mirror for collective anxiety, reflecting both fascination and dread. Inside job theory. Some theorized that it was an inside job. Only someone with knowledge of transmission equipment and broadcast schedules could pull it off. Yet no proof ever emerged. Rivalry motives. Others suggested it was an attempt to undermine rival stations. Perhaps a subtle message or dark joke aimed at competitors. No confirmation existed, only speculation. Anonymous letters. Anonymous letters began arriving at stations and media offices. They contained cryptic clues, taunts, or claims of knowledge about the perpetrator. None could be verified, adding another layer to the mystery. The tape circulation. VHS tapes circulated from home to home. People watched repeatedly, searching for hidden patterns or messages. The legend of Max Headroom grew, passed along through the worn tapes of a generation. Public obsession. Discussions about the incident appeared in cafes, offices, and schools. Max Headroom became a fascination and a fear, embedding itself into Chicago's collective memory. Who was behind the mask? The question lingered. Who was behind the mask? Was it a student, a disgruntled employee, or an early hacker? No one knew, and the shadowy figure remained unidentified. College prank hypothesis. Some theorized it was a college prank. Students with access to labs and knowledge of signals could attempt the impossible. Yet nothing could confirm this. Ex-employee theory. A former employee could have had motive and technical knowledge. But again, no proof emerged. The identity remained a secret. Symbolism of Max Headroom. The mask became a symbol of media, satire, and absurdity. The distorted voice and mechanical gestures reflected collective anxiety about technology and control. Messages decoded. Analysts attempted to decode potential messages in gestures and patterns. Some saw hidden words, others heard taunts. The truth, if any, remained known only to the creator. Comparisons to other broadcast intrusions. Similar incidents occurred worldwide, but Chicago's event was unique. The combination of technical mastery and psychological impact set it apart. Why never caught? The perpetrator was never caught. Limitations of 1980s technology and their skill kept them hidden. Some mysteries are simply meant to remain unsolved. The chilling legacy. From VHS to online uploads, the legend persisted. The stiff mask and distorted laugh became icons of modern fear and media manipulation. From VHS to YouTube. With the digital era, the recording reached new audiences. The phenomenon connected generations, old and new, yet the mystery stayed intact. Psychological analysis. Psychologists studied why people are fascinated by mystery. Max Headroom exemplified how symbols and distorted reality could penetrate the collective subconscious. Max is a symbol. The mask represented uncertainty and media's hidden power. It reminded viewers that even familiar technology could harbor the unexpected. Hidden messages theory. Observers sought codes and gestures, background patterns, and distorted audio. Any hidden message remained indecipherable, known only to the creator. Cultural influence. The legend inspired music, film, and digital art. Max Headroom became a cross-generational symbol of technological absurdity. The unsolved mystery. The identity of the perpetrator remained unknown. The mystery persisted, feeding urban legend and collective imagination. Open ending. On that night, November 22nd, 1987, the plastic face smiled again. Viewers watched, captivated and unsettled. The questions remained. Who? Why? And could it happen again? No answers. Only a legend. Deep psychological impact. Psychologists found long-term fear and obsession with technology triggered by the broadcast. The mask forced the brain to seek patterns and meaning. Conspiracy theories. Speculations emerged about secret organizations, social experiments, or mind control tests. The legend thrived in underground forums and magazines. Global spread. The tape reached America, Europe, and Asia. Max Headroom became a global phenomenon and symbol of mysterious media intrusion. Cultural echoes. Generations recreated, referenced, and interpreted the phenomenon. Its impact extended far beyond the original broadcast. The eternal question. The questions persisted. Who was behind the mask? Why? And what was the meaning? The broadcast left an enduring mark on collective memory. Long-term psychological effects. Some viewers reported nightmares of the mask, distorted laughter, and unsettling gestures. Media-induced fear and fascination endured for decades. Hacker theory revisited. Modern interpretation suggested an early hacker showing capabilities via mass media. No evidence confirmed this, but Max Headroom became a symbol of early hacker pranks. Media references. The phenomenon was cited in documentaries, articles, and TV programs. References appeared in music, films, and digital art. Max Headroom lived everywhere, shaping perceptions of technology, television, and entertainment. Rising tension. As influence grew, so did mystery and tension. People scrutinized every detail, background, hand gestures, symbols on walls. The more the audience watched, the more alive the mystery felt. Uncertainty combined with a strong symbol can create tension that lasts for decades. Approaching the climax. Now we approach the heart of the story. All speculation, theories, and legends converge into a collective understanding. Max Headroom was not just a hijacked TV broadcast. He symbolized uncertainty, media power, and an unsolved mystery. November 22nd, 1987, marked the beginning of a phenomenon that challenges anyone who dares to look at the screen. Climactic reflection. That night, the TV glowed, the plastic face smiled, distorted voices filled the room. Viewers were captivated, afraid, and fascinated all at once. Max Headroom became a symbol of media's limits and the power of unsolved mysteries. Cultural legacy. From VHS to YouTube, Max Headroom lived in popular culture. References appeared in films, music, digital art, and internet memes. A single incident transcended time and place, shaping collective imagination. The unseen puppeteer. The perpetrator remained uncaught. Those who watched that night never knew who was behind the mask. The unseen figure, human or symbolic, reminded us that some mysteries are not meant to be solved. This uncertainty gave the legend its enduring power. Reflection on media and fear. The incident taught something about media and humanity. Fear and fascination, symbolism and distortion, all interconnected. Media, which usually entertains, can become a mirror of mystery, challenging perception and affecting collective psychology. Max Headroom became an eternal symbol of uncertainty. Open ending. Finally, we return to November 22nd, 1987. The plastic mask smiled, distorted voices echoed, the screen flickered. The perpetrator's identity? Unknown. Their intent? Still a mystery. Max Headroom became an eternal legend, a symbol of uncertainty, media power, and questions that remain unanswered. The broadcast ended, but curiosity lived on, waiting for anyone brave enough to face the screen and ask, "Who was it?"